Children's Books, Part 2. The first is I Am Wind, an autobiography, written by Rachel Poliquin, illustrated by Rachel Wada. This book is beautiful. It's poetry and science and culture and folklore and history and artwork all wrapped into one text. It's a perfect example of how to use a multitude of genres to teach a concept. It's the quintessential hybrid text. First of all, wind is personified. It is the main character. Wind tells of their story through poetry. For example, quote, I am wind. I whistle, I howl, I steal your hat, your house, your kitten, your kite. I whisper, whisper, whisper secrets in the leaves. I am the great rushing in all directions. Wind is portrayed as a beautiful friend, but it's also portrayed as a destructive enemy. Wind also tells us their story through history with little wind chronicles, which describe types of winds in various cultures and record of historical events of destruction and peril caused by tornadoes and storms. Wind also charmingly tells us of its characteristics directly, almost like an extended character sketch. How it's created, the types of wind forces that exist, how mankind has harnessed wind for its own uses like sailing and wind farming, how it's perceived in mythology, its multitude of names in various cultures. Throughout all of this wonderful poetry and prose and information are the most beautiful illustrations in the most vibrant of colors. A multitude of lessons can be created from the artwork alone if you are a teacher. For educators and families with young children, I Am Wind, an autobiography, is a delightful addition to your library. It's not just informative, it's engaging and absolutely beautiful. This book will captivate anyone, making learning fun and interactive. Oh, and the book creators live in British Columbia, so there's a nice chunk of Canadian and Indigenous content, which always makes me happy. Next, The Diary of a Bee by Stepanka Skananova and illustrated by Lynn Dow. This is an adorable little picture book that amusingly illustrates the life of a bee, Matilda. Matilda narrates her diary every day of her short life. She shares the kingdom in which she lives, what their role is in the hive, and how they specifically do their jobs. For example, did you know that bees only see certain shades of color? Little Matilda also specifically teaches us the structure of this kingdom of hers, the worker cells, the drone cells, and we even get to see the queen's cell itself. Sadly, the book ends with Matilda's death, but no worries, another Matilda takes her place. It's a wonderful way to teach about a bee's life. I think it would be suitable for any elementary classroom, not only because it's clearly and cleverly and adorably written, making the subject more amusing by organizing it as a first-person diary, but also because it features charming and colorful pictures. Next, MiniMoni. What is Love All About, MiniMoni? By Rocio Bonilla. How do you explain love to a child? This sweet little picture book has the little girl, MiniMoni, contemplate the big idea of love. What does love look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? MiniMoni then reflects on all the times that she feels good and safe. Like when she receives a hug from a loved one, or when she shares special moments with her family, or even when she takes care of special things in her life. It's a beautiful, simple book with humorous illustrations, especially those that include her little dog, Max. It's a beautiful addition to any classroom or any little private library. Next is Tummy 2. Eating Isn't Always Easy by Shauna Marie, illustrator by Bev Devakishan. This is a compassionately written book about a young child, Buddy, with sensory sensitivities when it comes to food. The author writes from a place of love in exceptionally well-written verse. The pictures are softly colored and amusing, beautifully illustrating the content's sensitivity. The book is an important addition to an inclusive collection of children's literature at home, in classrooms, and in libraries. Next one is Pretty Ugly by David Sedaris and illustrated by Ian Falconer. This is one of my favorites because I think you could use it in a multitude of grades. If I was still teaching high school, I would use it even in my high school classes. It's a picture book and it's so fantastic in so many ways. First, it's funny and a little bit gross. Second, it has a multitude of universal themes, so it doesn't really matter how old you are when you read it, you just get it. This book would be an amazing text to use when introducing Socratic discussion, for example. It is a picture book that shows us that looks are irrelevant to the depth of familial love. When Anna, who is an ogre, makes ugly faces, and ugly to ogres obviously are cute and pretty faces, she makes ugly faces so often that one permanently sticks, and she tries everything, including visiting the doctor, to change her appearance to what it was before, but to no avail. Her family tries to assure her that beauty is on the inside and that they love her very much no matter what she looks like. Pondering her family's words, however, she reaches inside her mouth and turns herself inside out, ultimately making herself more beautiful than before. And I know we often say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it's a phrase that we say so often it's almost become trite. How can we internalize the authenticity of the statement? So that whole idea of beauty being subjective opens itself up to all sorts of discussions about what beauty truly is. I think this book also really lends itself to paragraph writing and writing persuasive essays as well. And last but not least, Lizzy the Cloud by the Fan Brothers. And if you've read anything by the Fan Brothers, you know that their picture books are absolutely enchanting. In Lizzy and the Cloud, Lizzy is a young girl who decides to go to the park to buy herself a pet cloud of all things. And so she buys one and she names her cloud Milo. Now, Milo, being a cloud, comes with a list of instructions, and Lizzy is sure to follow each one as best she can so Milo can be well taken care of. However, Milo soon becomes too big for Lizzy's bedroom, and he begins to rumble and grumble, forcing Lizzy to make some pretty big decisions about what to do with her unusual pet. The story is adorable, it's charming. The artwork is so beautiful, you'll want to revisit each page to immerse yourself in this wonderful, whimsical world. So here are a few more picture books to take a look at and add to either your own little personal library at home or to your little school library or your classroom library.